Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome to another Coaches Weekly for this season of Cougar Track and Field. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network, and joining me once again is head coach of Cougar Track and Field, Andy Chizzo.
Good morning.
So, Coach Chizzo, last week was the big one. Your teams traveled up to Stevens Point, Wisconsin for the NAC Conference Championships. And while neither team finished in the top five in the team results, it was still a very successful meet for your athletes all around. Plenty of all-conference, plenty of podiums, plenty of PRs once again. So, reaching the end of the indoor season, is this about where you expected your athletes to end up this year, or did they even surpass expectations?
They're surpassing expectations. Again, 20 new PRs, 2 broken records on the indoor season. That's pretty spectacular showing. It should be noted too that there was another good showing at the meet that didn't happen, but we can talk about that at some other time. But no, where we're at right now is kind of where I've expected it. I mean, we're setting up our individual athletes for success. On the relays, we're setting them up for success. Like I had mentioned so many times these past few weeks, as long as we keep everything consistent as long as we can keep everything consistent with our athletes, anything can happen. And that showed a lot because there was a lot of great PRs that happened because of that. So.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, PR spinning right off into that as we always do. We have the PR board once again.
Yeah, 20 new PRs and 2 records. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's 180 total PRs now on the indoor season, which is ultra spectacular. I can't stress enough how blessed I am to have a team like this. They work hard. The guys on the sprint core work exceedingly hard, and the records are showing that. The PRs are showing that. So we just hope they keep that up. We got spring break coming up, so they're going to be away from us for a little bit, but we have workouts already planned for them while they're away. Hopefully it won't be too difficult for them to follow those plans. So yeah.
But yeah, I mean, massive numbers on the PRs, and looking at this last meet, 16 PRs again, and a lot of those coming from your younger athletes again. You have athletes like Austin Knight, Miguel Sanchez, both underclassmen, both picking up PRs that actually landed them on the podium at this last meet.
Of particular interest, Miguel being a freshman, he had 24 points for our meet. He was just shy of being the freshman athlete of the meet by just a few points. So, talented group. And Austin being the veteran, showing what he does. I think he had 20 points for the meet. So, great stuff. Yeah, they both podiumed a few times, I believe. So, yeah.
Yeah, just a really solid meet for your athletes all around to round out the indoor season. But with the way track and field works, you're really only halfway done for this year because now it's on to the indoor season. So outdoor season.
That's right.
Yep, great call. But after coming off of the indoor season, you get a bit of a break here.
Yeah.
And then it's into the outdoor season with the Wisconsin Lutheran Invite on March 28th. Where does this leave your teams heading into there? What's the kind of launch pad that you're at right now?
Well, so when we get into these bigger meets, right, the conference meet, it's all about the mental aspect of the sport, right? What do we do to win? We put our athletes in those positions of being consistent in practice, being consistent at the meets, so thereby they have to think less about what they're doing and more about how to do it, which is important. Now, after coming off these high-pressure situations with this meet, with the indoor meet, now we get a rest, a break, if you will. So the first meet, I'm going to have the bar super low. It's like a reset, right? We're not going to try and fuel a fire by going, gung-ho right off the bat. It's just about, hey, this is what happened. This is where we're going. Let's see where we're at after break, and we'll see how these practices go and, increase the challenging aspects of practice and see if they can fine-tune themselves into bigger and better athletes. So hopefully that goes well for us.
I mean, you kind of mentioned that. In the last couple of weeks, we've been talking how your meets throughout the season leading up to conference championship are, in a way, sort of a glorified practice.
It's exactly what they are. It's nothing more than, you, the coach, to observe what's going on, see what you can fix in practice, and or just see what you can do with the coaching cues that you have. I mean, you got to keep it light for them on competition day, but during practices is the time to kind of fix what you're seeing, because you're not going to fix everything that you're seing at the meet, right? You got to do it during practices, so. Yeah, some have a litany of lists of coaching cues that they have to go through. Some have a smaller list. You just try and chip them off so they get smaller and smaller, and then they get more consistent through time. So,
yeah. But That's a wrap on indoor track and field here at Concordia, Chicago for this year. Coach Chizzo, again, congratulations to you and your athletes on a great season with indoor track and field. And obviously, good luck as you guys start prepping for the outdoor season coming up at the end of March. And like we mentioned, that outdoor season does start on March 28th at the Wisconsin Lutheran Invite. If you want to catch up on all of the action from this season of indoor track and field for the Cougars and get prepped up on what's to come for the Cougars, you can check all of that at cucougars.com. Once again, I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network, and thank you for joining us for this season of Indoor Track and Field Coaches Weeklies, and make sure to join us in the upcoming future as we get ready for outdoor track and field.